Memories. Memories.
It's a brand new season of CGL.
This is just an absolute treat. These players are so damn good.
The talent on these teams is undeniable. Everybody on every team right now is making plays.
It's going to be an exciting start to the season, and it'll just get better from here on out.
We're about to step to a whole new era of Overwatch esports. So much exciting action is happening here on CGL that you do not want to miss.
Look who's starting it all off, it's Raven. No one necessarily figure out what is the right way to go just yet.
What a nice roll through from Peyton. It's just gonna solidify everything for Mythos.
Does come back, and Arsario gets the mech, but I don't need a mech. I'll kill 4 anyway.
This is just a highlight reel for Arsario right now.
They're making a statement in the EU Masters here.
This patch is still incredibly fresh. There's so much to learn, so much to change about the way we play the game.
NKC, but the shatter is colossal.
Let's get it going.
Trades keep coming through. Laura is gonna be able to find these shots true.
Idu on the overclock with 2.
Here comes an Adelaide immediately comes back to fine skills, slicing and dicing their way through 2-3, so back and forth.
And to steal a phrase, hello and howdy, folks, and welcome to CGL as we're deep into the playoffs beginning here, and we're going to start in the EMEA region, and we are going to have 2 strong EU teams that have history together. I'm Gio, joined by Spectron. This is going to be a banger.
It's going to be a grudge match, but, before we get into the history of these teams, we got to, commend the quality of player we have actually in the server today, because you take a look at the rosters of Potfriend and Tread Gaming Esports, then, between the two of them, I think there's 5 players who've just made top 8 in EMEA, couple of who just, on the outside of missing it, as Gucci has just fallen to DM Pro in literally the last hour. So super competitive, one of the highest stakes games that we've seen here on the CGL broadcast. And of course, there is some history there that we have been lucky enough to experience, hasn't there, Gio? Potfriend going previously as Sheer Coals and Grill Masters have played against Tread Gaming Goggles when they were, what were they again?
Kingfish,
you're right. At
in fact,
41.
Funnily enough, I've got the sticker on my desk. I'm not even kidding. So yeah, we've seen these teams at Epic, not too long ago, only a month or so ago, and a slightly different rosters, but mostly the same rosters, and it was a 4-2 in the end to Kingfish, who are now Tread Game Esports, against Grillmasters, now Potfriend. So there's a bit of vengeance required here from Potfriend against Tread Gaming to see if they can hit back. To bounce off your point as well, Will and Takuno are both on the same OWCS team, and now they're against each other. So there's a little bit of OWCS inter-team rivalry going on also. There's a lot in this one.
Yeah, flip side of things as well, Zodiel and Tread are both on Team Peps right now, but now they're on opposing sides of the bracket. They literally just qualified for top 8 about 2 hours ago, and now they have to play against each other to continue forward here in CGL 1. There's so many storylines here. I absolutely cannot wait to get our teeth into this game. And of course, that's not the only thing here too, because this is Potfriend as a rosters I think, last tournament together. They've been competing as sheer cold for so long, but, you know, at the end of stage 1 of OWCS, they finally dissolved their players, you know, split across the 4 corners of EMEA, going over to teams like Team Peps, like Team Redline, everywhere, right? So this is their last time playing together as a full roster, I believe. There's so much. And this match, I mean, we heard last time we saw it played out, it was a 4-2. Honestly, it could have went 4-3. It could have went the whole difference. Just a single fight ended up making that not the case. Fantastic game, and this time it should be no different.
Yes, and shouldn't be any different in terms of like the energy and the pacing of what this is going to be. There's some difference here on the rosters. So for Pot Friend, you do have Exodial, who is part of the core roster, wasn't there at Epic LAN as their main hit scan player. They didn't have them at Epic LAN last time they played. NKZ also wasn't there, who is their main tank. Now, NKZ was there in the opponent picking stream, and they had some very, very harsh words. One of them was that he doesn't think he's ever lost to Captain Prash in officials, and said it will not happen ever in their career. So they don't think it'll be that hard of a game. Very, very strong words
I mean,
coming out from them.
NKZ does like his fighting words. I mean, I think last time I interviewed him at Insomnia, also against Captain Prash, his exact words were, you're going to get effed, I believe, we'll say. Ooh. Keeping it family friendly here on the broadcast. So he likes to talk the talk. We'll see if he actually can walk the walk. And as you mentioned, it wasn't Zodial who was in at Epic LAN. I believe it was Condi who was playing the hit scan role there. And also a very, very competent player, going to be on the bench now at least. See if we got the rosters for their opponents, Tread Gaming Esports, or to use their full name, Tread Gaming. Oh no, I didn't see the Tread Gaming goggles. Very sad. But look, they're here now. Divine, SXJ, Treads are going to be coming in for Demon to replace from their Epic LAN roster. But Prash, Takuno, all super competent players. I mean, Captain Prash on Team Redline barely missed out on top 16. Treads qualified with Team Pets, as we had before. Takuno as well has made it in after a 5-map banger against Ex Oblivione on Super Shy's side. So again, super strong roster. And of course, they were the winners in that Epic LAN matchup.
They were. Nothing warms my heart more than a Captain Prash Takuno support line. I'll say that much. These two players have really earned their spots across all tournaments that they've been in. And Prash did actually have a response. It wasn't there when NKZ said that because they were in a comp game, funnily enough. But they joined later in the opponent picking stream and they said, I let my hands do the talking. You better walk the walk because we're going to take you to a good series.
Well, can't really ask for more than that, can you? See what our first map of the day is, and by the looks of things, it's going to be an Oasis. I mean, we've seen what the meta has, begun to shape up with here in Season 10. It looks like a lot of Orisa, a lot of Kiriko, a lot of Sojourn Tracer, and being fully honest, this is a boring meta, so let's just get that out of the way. It's not what you'd expect. But what it does allow is hit scans like, I believe, SXJ or like Exodial to absolutely pop off. And I think, for me, at least in the EMEA region, Exodial has been the biggest standout, the biggest, kind of fresh face exploding onto the scene. I have been blown away every time he takes to the server, no matter whether it's online, in person, against, some friendly rivalry or players he's never met before, then always blown me away. The 17-year-old Spanish player is just mad.
Yeah, it always blows me away as well, like the amount of just skill that it is, because it's beyond talent, it's skill, it's practiced, and it's earned as well. So many names. I mean, so many names I've casted throughout my career as a caster as well. Back when I was co-casting Contenders as well, followed a lot of that initial sheer cooled roster, which is very much unchanged up till now. And it means there's so much synergy with both of these rosters, with these players having so much experience with each other.
Tread! Yeah! He's offering to win trade against SSG if Pot Friend throw this. That's business right here. But I really like what you're saying here, Gio, because at least from a casting standpoint, right? I mean, we've spent so much time with these players, be it in person or just be it, in terms of time. I mean, you've been casting Prash since the Arena 51 days, so...
Oh, yeah.
You feel like a proud dad, you know, when they go on and do great things. I mean, again, my personal claim to fame is screwing with Tread in 2019 when we were both like plat. So we'll have it there again. Full mirror, more or less. Wait, Zodial is on the new hero. We're seeing a bench here, folks.
We are, and because they're in comp, you can play bencher, and Zodial's coming out on it. It's a risky thing to do, especially against a Cassidy. If you hit you with that hindrance, that could be bad, but it's Tread who had so much damage done to them. It's going to force the Tread gaming side all the way back as PopFriend get the initial win.
Yeah, we're going to be learning quite a lot about how Venture works in this matchup here, because it's the first time I've seen them play competitively. Zodial just loading the damage in, front-loading it onto Tread, who can't hold up. This time Takuno falls over, though. What a huge mistake.
Yeah, well able to follow up on it. The damage done by the Javelin. You see, they're not letting up at all. Tread's taking so much damage on the flank, could potentially go down, but the backline open up a bit. Winton, leave SXJ, that is, on that account. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, Simon with an interesting username here just to throw us off a little bit, but we know who it is, really. Tread Gaming Esports have been able to, seize the space outside of the objectives, and now they can begin leveraging that onto the point itself.
Burrow coming in from Exodial. Very dangerous to go in with that one, but it does do the bump. Very low went straight. Burrow is able to just stay alive. Exodial finds Divine. It's traded out immediately though. Pulse Bomb comes out. City Rush is going to secure this one. Tread Gaming are able to secure this point.
Yeah, nice flip in momentum here. Just have to dispatch Exodial, and yeah, they do end up getting the victory. They do spend their Kitsune Rush, so also advantage will be in the favor of PopFriend at least for a little bit, but lovely pulse, and just, again, spamming everything they can into Skytor is enough to get them the flip. I love taking that two-stage fight, taking care of all the outside space, and then going for the elimination. Great fight planning for them, and now they are set up in defense for the first time. This Terror Surge, probably what they're going to build their fight plan around.
Well, that's going to be what they come out with. There's also this Kitsune Rush from Yoham as they just slowly take this high ground, take it away. Staging onto the point, there's a Kitsune Rush coming out, so much damage going on to Skytor, just stays alive. Captain Prash does have the beat if they want to use it, but Tread's already down. Probably hold on to it. Both beats able to be held on to it, but PopFriend get it with Kitsune.
And SXJ has revealed his name. Streamer mode is off. No more Winston, so we'll say goodbye for now. But again, Tread Gaming Esports, their plan looked like it was just shoot Skytor, but gold not being used aggressively, also having that Terror Surge means that there wasn't really a chance the Orisa fell down in the pre-fight. New ultimate pop. Does it get anything? Divine falls.
Divine's down. I mean, you don't really have that much prep time in officials against Avenger double Terror Surge. Skytor gets the best of it with a double, able to hold on 81% spec.
Yeah, it looks like it's going the way of PopFriend right now. Tread Gaming Esports have been knocked for 6. Strabo with a double kill to put a cap onto things. This Venture they're playing, very interesting wrinkle, and swapping over to the Winston, both sides actually. Looks like they've handshaken it, but if it gets a touch, then we'll see which side is truly better.
Oh, Yoham goes down from the initial dive. Tread is going to get a lot of damage done. The Kitsune Rush just keeping them alive. Divine finds the shot, and at 99 in overtime, they're able to swap it around. Careful though, Divine with the double tap to the heads.
Divine is crazy on the hit scan and manages to get a flip coming through. I think that is kind of the thing that Venture doesn't have right now, is the ability just to magic kill out of nowhere. It requires a little bit of setup, They're really hamstrung by that range, and Cassidy simply isn't. Skytor decides that Winston maybe isn't for him, and back over to the Orisa, just wants to play meta.
Second to the meta, what they've been training on, what they know. But it's Divine that just knows how to get the initial pick. Oh! From God's good grace, Divine finds those early picks and the fight is already over.
I mean, it's just about how long PopFriend can live for, and not too long at all, so they are looking to die as fast as possible. Zodial, the last one to start pushing up the daisies, but push up the daisies he will. Coming up to last fight territory here, we thought this would go the way of PopFriend, but Tread Gaming Esports battling it back already, a close series. Again, we see the seismic shock online for Zodial. We'll see if it finds the same value it did last time.
They must be ready for it. A lot more mobility now that they've swapped their heroes, so it will be harder to find it. That's the Tracer's Jewel on the side here. Already Javelin comes out. Skytor's abilities slowing it down. What a stick onto Strabor! Takes them out. Yoham does bring out the rush. It's not going to be enough. Goes down. There's no supports now for the side of Pop Friend. Tread Gaming begin to clean up, and that's all she wrote for the point one.
I mean, we promised you a close series here, folks, and I mean, first point at least all the way is as close as can be. SXJ and Co are able to continue the lead, at least for now, that they had from previous matchups in Epic Land 41. But again, it was so close on an absolute knife edge there, Gio. I mean, one fight for Pop Friend, we're seeing a very different result. We're seeing, kind of the flirtation between the Winston and the Arisen from both these sides. I think Tread seems a little bit more hungry to go towards it than Skytor, which is a little bit strange because, at least to my knowledge, I think Skytor is a little bit more partial towards the hero himself.
Yep.
We could see the Symmetra's out to TP straight to spawn. I think it's super interesting we're seeing the double Cassidy here rather than the Sojourn. I guess the sightline's a little bit more beneficial towards it. Not really needing those super long flanks that Sojourn can take. Instead, it's just the consistency and, of course, using the Deadeye from the high ground to zone the space.
Of course. Cowboy in the town. There's only room for one of them. So far as Divine has had the better of it, but now Exodial matching. That's some high competition on a hit scan right there. As Skytor actually finds Divine, now Exodial is free to be the sole Cowboy. Is the sole focus of the dive. Skytor takes Tread down. Pop Friend are going to have the better of this initial fight.
Yeah, pretty quickly shut down too. Super nice from Pop Friend. I believe that was playing a little bit more reactively, but in the end, they do get their flip lightning fast, and this is kind of replicating what we saw in that first point, right, Gio, where a Pop Friend do get first cap. That time it went against them, and with a lead in ults like this, and we should maybe not see a repeat. Yeah, we're just forcing it out, Pop Friend, Tread Gaming Esports, but still plenty of work left to do.
They don't want a full repeat, that's for sure. Divine almost goes immediately down as they're trying to push in Exodial on this flank. They are taking heavy trade, but it's Prash that goes down. The headshot found. There's the pulse to change it around. Went down already before the pulse even blew up onto them. Divine on a sliver of health, trying to take Skytor down, who just escapes. They don't have Johan though, so without support, they are going to fall down. And at 40%, it will switch over to Tread Gaming.
No Prash, no problem. Apparently, Tread Gaming Esports able to turn the tables on their opponents, and first cap now in their favor. So, getting presented on the board here on City Center for the first time. Ultimates getting online now for both these sides. Takuno with the Kitsune Rush online a little bit earlier than his counterparts, but Johan's super close.
Takuno's going to utilize that early. One is going to be traded, but Johan goes down already. That slight difference in timing for the Kitsune Rush to be ready is all that mattered. Crash is going to need to utilize the bait, keep the team up. It is mirrored by Strepper, but how effective is that even going to be?
Is lovely. Super nice pulse onto Skytor, and with that, Pop Friend have been dispatched once again. They get progress, yeah, but it's an expensive fight where they don't actually get any real percentage on the objective. Zodial, though, flips the tables on them once again. We spoke about how good he is in the pre-show. The absolute freak of nature finds a double kill out of nowhere, and it should be a Pop Friend flip.
Yeah, a little bit overextension there from old Prashy, but yeah, it's gonna happen. There's a lot of ego and fun in this matchup. At the end of the day, you're going to be wanting to win it. As they stage for this next fight, Dive comes out, followed by the High Noon. Is going to create a lot of space, but there's plenty to hide from. No one's going to get caught out from this. It gives them initial positioning to get that follow-up into the backline, yeeting that hinder nade right into the backline. Doesn't find much from it. The Skytor needs to back up. Both Kitsune Rushes very quickly being built towards. It might be the game plan, the end plan for Pop Friend. Divine actually goes down, but at the hands of Johan, who's taken it into their own hands with those kunais.
I mean, fair enough. You put that perfectly. Johan just kills two people. I really like the start from that fight, actually. They use their Deadeye to take space, as we kind of spoke about a little bit earlier. They take the space, but the attempt to recontest is just far too good from Pop Friend. Takuno has to Suzu far too early. Divine gets taken down after that, and a lovely double from Johan puts a bow on top of things. Aggressive now from Zodial. There's 5% left to go, Gio.
Can they even touch? This was such a smart move, but they did over-invest there. The touch will happen nonetheless. Now they don't have those ultimates, especially the Kitsune Rush to match. Takuno does actually not fight a whole lot with it. Zodiel is going to be just destroying the competition. Prash trying to stay alive, had beat, couldn't get it off. That was a brilliant play there from Popfriend to push forward with such little percent remaining.
Zodiel is just fantastic, man. So super impressed by the frags he's finding and the decision making that he's going for. I mean, that Deadeye obviously doesn't find any frags, but because of it, Tread Gaming Esports aren't able to take a full 5 fight actually on the objective, right? They have to stagger in. Simon sacrificed his life for the cause, but you know, putting your body onto the funeral pyre does nothing but extend proceedings. Popfriend get the flip all the same, and 1-1 here, we have to go to outer side on University. Arissa's out for both sides, so no more Monkey. We've had our fun, but again, they're staying on the Casty. Both these sides don't really want to play the Social here.
There's almost a sort of like need to prove as well with Exodial and what they've done in their short career up against Divine, who's also been a great head scan. Sort of the meeting of the great minds. Positioning on the high ground initially, Popfriend are able to utilize this to get that spam in. Meanwhile, Tread positioning their team just at the choke here. Big flank on the side from Divine also needs to be careful they don't get caught out, but it will get them that extra damage on the side. Brilliant! And that's well gone. Doesn't get the credit for it, but it was absolutely all Tread.
Oh, that's dirty. That's the kind of Arissa play that gets you a scholarship at St. Clair's. Fantastic from Tread. I mean, wins the first fight basically single-handedly. We'll see if the cleanup comes through or if Popfriend can disengage. He's pushing further forward. Is Tread and Zodiel taken down? This is all Tread Gaming.
Yeah, they wanted to try and stay in and see if they could regroup. It was their Tracer quite fast get back, but at the end of the day, Tread Gaming able to follow up.
Now, they have first control here. You look at the ult scenario, nothing's super close, so it will be, you know, the dueling BAP windows, the first to come online. If either support player here gets a particularly early ult, that might be an advantage for their side, but I think the real factor here is whichever team is able to disengage the opponent's BAP window, because that is going to be the big decider of who wins, who loses this next battle.
That's true. Unless SXJ can land his pulse on the side they're looking for. First window comes up from Yoham. No one getting caught out with it. They have to be able to kite it.
Oh.
In fact, Tread was down and they haven't utilized their window. That's a bit of a disaster for their fight. If they want to keep this up, they're going to have to do some magic here. But Taikuno goes down and suddenly Popfriend have the advantage and all they had to use was that initial window.
And if Tread survives there, then Tread Gaming Esports almost definitely win that fight, right? They push in with their own window. Popfriend can't contest it in any way, shape, or form. And best case scenario would be that both sides invest more ultimates, but I would, you know, give the lead to Tread Gaming. They don't know, and now lead for Popfriend. Deadeye to force the space. They're all so close.
Oh, they're all in the one room. They're being pushed into it, stacked into it like it's a locker. Here's the high noon on the reversal. Oh, what a brilliant terror surge to be just in time, though. Well timed by Stradmore. Gets matched by Prash, and because Prash's beat didn't have the damage of the terror surge, they're able to stay up. But here's a terror surge late into it, takes out the immortality field, but that's about it. Tread Gaming have the point. Fight could still go on here, but with Skytor going down, that one's secured.
That it is, I mean, chaotic as hell fight. I think the really big difference maker there, Gio, was Prash coming through with a little bit of a later beat. Monty's was good, allows everyone to survive on the side of Popfriend, but Captain Prash with the later beat just allows a little bit more aggression from Tread Gaming. They get an early trade and they want to press their advantage now.
Yeah, nice early window has split the team up. Someone's caught off to the side. I can't quite see who it is. It's the Tracer, so they should be all right. As Captain Prash is dueling them. Careful there. That's Will. You don't want to do that to Will. Captain Prash is down 90%, but it looks like Popfriend still have the advantage here. Oh no, but suddenly it's all turned around. It's a disaster. SXJ's went mad in the backline, has the pulse to finish it, sticks it to Skyter, and that's going to be Tread Gaming taking this first map of Oasis.
I mean, they went out the 5v4 to win out of first map. That's impressive as hell. You know, to be fair to them, I think the Lucio is probably the least bad pick you can concede. If you're defending from the objective, you don't need the speed as much. If you just want to fight in a choke, and you know that they do, but still super impressed by both sides bringing us an incredibly competitive series here on Oasis. I mean, it feels like every player had a chance to step up, but it is Divine with the play of the game. And I have to say, Divine on that final map really was able to get the better. Oh my god. I mean, that's just dirty. But no, really was able to get the better of Exodial in, that final sub map. So I think momentum here on the side of Tread Gaming Esports, but we were promised a banger, and it has been delivering so far.
Oh man, it's so close. This is definitely going to be a 5-mapper. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not as familiar with Divine as a player, but I'm getting very quickly acquainted to them. They have been very, very good, especially matched up against Exodial, who is a very strong hit scan in their own right. I think there is someone who has been caught out a few times now, and I have to point it out. Captain Prash has at least twice went down when they've overextended, so I think Captain Prash needs to reel it in a bit, having too much fun on the Lucio.
0 Prash beats, though, so we're safe, really, for now. Nobody's died mid-cast. It won't happen. It might happen, but we'll ignore that for now. Hybrid going to be coming up next. Options going to be Eichenwald, Paraíso, Midtown, and Hollywood. And I think that no map is really super closed off. No map's either super open as well. I think maybe if I am Tread Gaming Esports, I'd personally want to go more towards something like a Midtown and, kind of vice versa. I think if I'm a Pop Friends, I'm looking a little bit more at maps where maybe Tread doesn't get to play Orisa, where maybe Zodial doesn't have a super long sideline. So if I had to hazard a guess, I'd maybe say a Paraíso. But to be honest, these two teams are so close, they're so flexible that I think it's anyone's guess what we're up to next. Hollywood.
Hollywood, okay, yeah, that makes sense. It seems like, I'm not sure if NKZ's around, but if it's just Skyter being run right now, Skyter is their Winston player, more of the main tank player, so going to Hollywood is going to really play into that. Great synergy with Well on the Tracer, so I definitely see why Hollywood's the choice here coming from Pop Friend. However, what Tread Gaming's going to bring in response is going to be the real question.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be kind of a standard, which would be start Orisa, maybe go Monkey later for second point. I would maybe expect to see a little bit more Sojourn here. The start lines are a little bit longer, which does give a little bit more value to your railguns, where, of course, the Peacekeeper does have some damage fall off. As well, the slide allows you a lot more vertical mobility than the combat roll, so I think if any time they're going to play Soj, it would be now, but they seem pretty comfortable on the cast so far, so that might not end up changing. I think in terms of backline, really not much reason to change anything up. We are going to be seeing Lucio 100% of the time, I think, from Prash and Strayball. I think that Johan maybe could go towards Baptiste. Takuno, I think, a little bit more likely to. Still, I don't think it's super meta to do that. I think the Kiriko is perfectly viable, especially if you want to keep running this Tracer hit scan. So there's some room for variation. I don't think we'll see a huge amount of it. I think we're just going to see more or less this same comp, maybe with the Winston, maybe with the Orisa for pretty much the entire series.
Yeah, and if it's like how it was on Oasis for the entirety of the series, it's going to be high energy at all points. There's going to be no low points at all. And yeah, I think you're right with the sightlines when it comes to the Cassidy. You're probably more likely to see the Sojourn come out. Ashe is more of a niche pick that I'm not really seeing a whole lot.
Ashe is not that good because you can just play Sojourn. At the end of the day, I think at least for me, when you play Ashe, you could be playing Sojourn. The value of your hit scan has to be measured in comparison to all other hit scans. And Cassidy brings a little bit more than Sojourn when it comes to your, HP, right? Just having an extra 25 HP, in not having to ramp up your damage with the railgun, and in being a better off-angle duels. When I compare maybe a Hanzo or an Ashe, they're not better off-angle duels, and they're less survivable than Sojourn. So you might as well just play Soj every day.
That's the sad truth of Overwatch right now. May as well just play Sojourn. But, looks like Exodial and Divine aren't in that belief right now, as they are going to be sticking with that Cassidy despite those longer sight ranges.
Super interesting. We're also seeing the Winston mirror as well. Normally with a Monkey, you would see the Sojourn, not requiring as many resources. Tread, has to back off for now. We'll see exactly how much value both these Cassidys can get because they're going to be targets here, Gio.
They are. They have to be very careful how they rotate, especially Divine on the attack, but does have it open quite right now. They can take that high ground if they want, but they're a little bit confused of the positioning of Pop Friend right now. They're trying to bait out some movement here, waiting poised, ready. Divine with a risky rotation, tries to take Skyter out, just survives at the skin of their teeth, running into the loving arms of their supports of Johan and Strebor, who keep them alive. But at what cost? The Strebor goes down. Divine finding everything here.
It's all Divine there. It's all
Yeah, it's all
Divine.
Divine.
We'll see what more Pop Friend can do. They are giving up some progress, at least for now, while they wait for respawns, but they're forced back so far. Will they be able to sustain for long enough?
Yeah, this fight could still go either way. Right now, the control's so close, you have to keep that contested. As well goes down doing so, finds a kunai to the skull from Tikuno. Skyter trying to do their best, doesn't have the best bubble placement there. The rest of their team will fall, and that's Shred Gaming getting the first point in about 3 minutes.
5 minutes on the time bank. That is very comfortable for them. I said it before, I'll say it again. Divine is everything there. I mean, Care Pulse, that is a low blow there, SXJ. But no, Divine absolutely works Skysaw in the front line. Skysaw has to go back, get healed up by Johan. The space is taken by Tread Gaming. They're able to leverage it there. Again, early pressure onto Skysaw, but this time it's a primal rage to flip the script in his aggressors.
You can see Skyter like King Kong in New York, going absolutely mad. That's why you have Skyter on the Winston. So damn good at controlling the Primal Rage, and that's pretty much the fight won off the back of just a Primal Rage.
Expensive fight, yeah, but at the end of the day, it's still only the one ultimate. Skysaw can continue to battle for this aggressive space. As long as no one dies, yeah, Zodiac doesn't care. Pulse taken down by SXJ. That's, again, momentum in the favor of the attackers.
Kitsune comes out, a little bit of a late mirror there by Tekuno means he'll have it for a little bit longer into this fight. As Tread takes a very risky dive into the backline, does use Primal. Can Tread get a good Primal? A Skyter, well, it's beginning to look like they might, but doesn't get. The Mega goes down.
That's rough for Tread. Will respawn relatively quickly, but at the end of the day, it's still going to be numbers a disadvantage for the attackers, at least for now. Yeah, Skysaw just recontest the payload. There's nothing really that Tread Gaming can do but wait for their, I guess, protagonist to come back into the action. Both pulse bombs have been exchanged. You're right, Will's maybe cared a little bit too much as it only contacts the inside of a bubble. Sidelines for Pop Friends, and Zodiac can just work from up here.
Both beats are ready also from Prash and Strebor. It's about when you get the timing of that. As we saw later, beat earlier from Prash that got the better of it. A little bit low, goes well, stays alive. High noon from just as they come up the elevator. Like Captain America and I forget the movie, but I'm fussing. The
America
is
2,
gonna
the
go
Winter
down.
Soldier.
Doesn't get the chance to use their own high noon. And the Winter Soldier looks like it's Skytar because they've been winning these fights quite off their own mechanics, and as a Winston, that's not very easy to do.
Zodial gunslinging down the last 3 there. I mean, he's got multiple MVPs in the group stages of OWCS. We see exactly why here. Dissembling Tread Gaming Esports once again. It feels like the plays that we have been seeing from Pop Friend have been off the back of Zodial. And Will, you know, has been a player with historically a lot of hype. I think everyone remembers the pulse bomb onto checkmate, but we haven't really seen it so far. I think SXJ has been a little bit stronger in the Tracer 1v1. Again, passive from Pop Friend. They don't have to do for anything super fancy, but engages here now.
Double goes down, Skyter needs a backup with that cooldown to be back. Heinun's ready from the Vine Big already, just controlling the space easily. There's the Hainun, comes out, goes so low. The Suzu's been forced right into the Kitsune. Johan finding a lot of value off of it. They were so low already that early Suzu from Tekuno had to be forced, and Pop Friend are just looking like they have it down on the second point.
Technically, I think it was a negative ult trade for Pop Friend, but at the end of the day, it's great use of momentum. Wait until your opponents are a little bit weak once they've used abilities like your Suzu, and then invest your own ultimates. In this case, the Primal forced Skysaw to survive, and they were always planning on ripping that Kitsune Rush. They allows them to put all the pressure onto Divine, who does eventually fall. Regrouping once again, but what was the 5-minute time bank here, Gio? Fallen's just a minute and a half.
And a half, below 90 seconds. Tracer duel happening here. And the old Soul well goes low. Both recalls used now. 13-second on the cooldown now. Captain Prash goes low. Otherwise, Tekuno has the Kitsune rush up. Skytar found himself a little bit lonely on the point as this fight has been won out with the investment of that Kitsune rush.
I believe a recontest will be possible. It might take Strabo getting some of the fancy footwork in, Alexa speed most of the members of his side back, and we'll see if that means that Tread Gaming Esports get a time back extension, or if Popfriend are able to knock them for 6. Yeah, caps through.
Touches. Heinun comes out. Finds Tread. Oh, with 40 seconds to go, that's a disaster. You're going to have to come up big here with your ultimate to try and turn that one around. Pulse doesn't get much, doesn't find anything complete with. And now they're just kind of chilling here. They're waiting for their tank to be back, but they're taking a lot of spam on the side of it right now. As they hold it, the final almost went down. Finally though, Tread's back, Pulse Bomb ready, 18 seconds, final fight now. Both bubbles come up, the Heinun doesn't find much from the find, does create space, enough for SXJ to find Skyzor, and that's going to be it. They will get the point.
Beat maybe a little bit superfluous there for Captain Prash, but the cap comes through all the same. Minute and a half. Some extra time for Tread Gaming Esports to continue their campaign through Hollywood. Successful, at least so far, but Popfriend have been able to make it close. Beat from Strabo there. A little bit too slow to save Skyzor. And even though, Tread falls to the Deadeye in that previous fight, even NKZ laughed at him a little bit there, then Popfriend aren't able to, press their advantage.
Kitsune Rush immediately counted away from. Primal Rage actually comes out from Tread, who finds Strabo. Suddenly, you can turn this one around, despite the Kitsune Rush not being able to get mirrored. Will goes down also. Bit of a disaster here, actually, from Popfriend, who invested quite a key win out.
Yeah, I mean, using that Kitsune, especially in a monkey comp like this, and losing out the fight that dominantly, really going to be kicking yourself for that. Primal Rage, it was fantastic from Tread. Isolates a frag, really the only person there who could have found a hero play, and does. So his side can continue to press forward. They have their own Kitsune Rush here. We'll see if Skyzor can get the same script flip onto their opponents if they want to get this hold.
Also it is, well, the meme of this matchup as well. Historically said, Pulse doesn't have it for themselves in this one though. 20 seconds to go, final fight. Kitsune Rush opens it. Skyzor right to the backline, trying to take Tekuno out. Goes half, but is able to stay alive. This Primal from Skyzor could be quite deadly if it's well placed. We know they can find eliminations with it, but there's going to be so much focus on them. They know it's there. They're ready for it. Oh, SXJ just survives with that recall. Now Skyzor into the back line, forcing them out. The beat, though, is going to allow them to push forward. There will be no beat on the other side. Strabor's not quite there. They need to survive this one. Tread goes half, goes low. The Pulse Bomb's ready. If they can take out Tread here, it would be disastrous. Needs to back up to the Mega. Strabor goes down. Can't build the beat. It's the Kitsune Rush from Yoham, though. That's going to be the key factor if they can win this one out. As Exodial finds Captain Prash. Pulse onto Skyzor, though. No tanks here. The fight on the back line. Such a good flank, like you said. Finding the shots. The Peacemaker working out for them. Just in time. Will go down. Will can retouch. Strabor that goes down. Will can't keep it up. What a last fight.
Dude, that's divine inspiration there to go for a flank like that. What a timing to catch, and because of that, the cap goes through 3-0 there with 0 seconds on the time bank. Popfriend's defense just crumbled at the last second. C9, bro. What is it on about?
You can just tell that, these players know each other. They're having fun with each other. Like, if you're watching in chat and you don't know these teams, they know each other quite well, so all of this is a good fun.
Yeah, I think a lot of these players have played on the same side before. I mean, a lot of them, Mind Goblin alumni, I mean, a lot of them have even played on the same team for OWCS, especially in the case of Popfriend. Even a couple of them on, I think, Team Redline, for example, in Stage 2. I mean, yeah, all these players, super good mates, which is why we're seeing so much trash talk in the lobby, as, of course, we deserve. But, of course, this game itself has just been so good so far. I think Divine has to be the stand-up player for me. I mean, I'm loving the value we're seeing on the Cassidy. I mean, my favorite play still has to be, cast our minds back to the beginning, but when he catches out Skyzor in that very alcove, the nade to stop him from running back, 2 fan the hammers just ruin his HP. I mean, that's what kind of kicked off this whole, momentum, the whole kind of ball rolling for Tread Gaming Esports, and because of that, they get their cap. We'll see if Popfriend can equalize that feat as they start on much the same composition.
Yes, and it was Tread Gaming. They struggled on second point for quite a while, but able to finishing the map is quite the task. An early dive, oh no, the fight! Actually, the Suses with force from Tekuno, I think both sides actually So there won't be too much advantage off the back of it, but the position won't be there from Pop Friend.
At least not for now, no. Note that there's no one on super deep angles for Tread Gaming Esports. This is probably advantageous to Pop Friend, especially if they take top cafe.
Here's the dive. That was quite risky from Tread, using that bend to stay alive. Bubble's been popped. SXG gets a kunai in the head from Yoham. That was very kind to him. Well, it was too busy playing Cookie Clicker on the back of Tread's back that they got taken. Now Pop Friend are in a bit of an issue. They don't have that flank control that the Tracer brings them, and they're positioned so well up there. Tread Gaming finding the backline, forcing that initial TP. If they can find Yoham now, that could be an issue, but it's Yoham who finds Takuno. And suddenly, this back and forth goes in the favor of Pop Friend.
I love that attack from them. Slow, creeping, brilliant understanding of space, and because of that, Tread Gaming Esports have to fight for their lives or their lack thereof as Strayable dispatches the final two members. Zodiel gets his opposite number, Pop Friend get their cap, and about equivalent time banks here, Gio. These sides just seem to be inseparable. This next fight, though, is going to be a really tricky one for Tread Gaming Esports, so they don't really have any number of ult advantage. Their best case scenario here is just stalling the objective using an alternation of Tread and SXJ, and maybe building into some ults and hoping you trade out evenly. Because if they let Pop Friend go first, they just fall over.
That was a yeeted nade there, and they're doing quite exactly what you said, but no, Tread are going to have the initial dive in. Both Kitsune rushes, a massive high noon. Exodial takes out the whole corral. And there's a pulse bomb to try and even it out. Doesn't find much. This is definitely for the side of Pop Friend right now as they just clean up those two supports, so just keeping themselves alive up there. The B comes in, actually. It has to force the mirror there. Captain Prash is stuck on the hay bale, and gets taken out finally.
I'm not in love with that sound barrier, I'll put it that way. I mean, 5v3, it's just not going to find the same value. Will flirts with the idea of a pulse, but elects to hold onto it, at least for now, as Divine checks his insolence with a Peacekeeper round. I mean, Pop Friend, right now, not really pressing the objectives, because they're chasing down SXJ. Now they can continue to egress forward with a pick like that. Is there anything that Tread Gaming Esports can do to stop them? Ults, yes, the Deadeye and the Primal Rage, but the same could be said of Pop Friend.
Yeah, this is going to be tough. Waiting for your Tracers to get back into this one. You won't have great touch as Skyter is going to find Divine, and that's a big player gone, especially with the high noon. You had a lot of space with that Tread in the air with the Primal Rage, trying to get something done, but with Takuno going down, yeah, Pop Friend have this one in the bag.
I mean, it's Yoham just sees how much time he can stall for. Tread going to have to die post-haste, and yeah, will be dispatched in the end. 4.5 minutes. Pop Friend on their own attack have been electric here. Tread Gaming Esports, yeah, this is the most favored part of the map for them, but it's going to have to be truly generational work if they want to whittle down this time bank something equivalent. Else they'll be playing Hollywood for nothing more than a tie. Pop Friend want to get the lead here on this map so they can equalize in this series. Over to the Orisa. Everyone boo Tread, guys. This is whack to boring.
Yeah, there's been lots of discussions about counter picking on Twitter recently, but Fred doesn't care. Goes on the Orisa. Captain Prash actually goes down early. Straight bar, you can take the damage out of the Lucio, but you can't stop Lucio players from dealing damage. Zodiel also takes Divine out, and suddenly that Orisa pick hasn't done the wonders they thought it would.
It almost finds Skytor, almost being the operative word there. Just about cleaning up SXJ, and yeah, Taylor will continue to move forward. I don't think the Orisa is a bad choice, especially for this final fight where there aren't the same high grounds for Skytor to play around, but it does lack a little bit of the pizzazz, I'll say. So if these fights are quick, if they're short, then the dives of Skytor and will be enough to overcome the sheer tankiness that Tread possesses.
Or Orisa might be Overwatch's bread and butter tank, but Skytor is skilled enough to be able to get to that backline nonetheless. There it goes with the Kitsune Rush, the Phantom Hammers, shredding Tread as they go down. High Noon comes up from Exodial, trying to create that space, but that Kitsune Rush dealing damage. Oh, the Hinder nade.
That's such a
Goodbye. Goodbye, Tracer. And that is I bet. Oh, was that at the end? Did I hear that? Was that a Prashy? That was an Ajax.
It was. It takes us 2 laps of Captain Prash being live, folks, to see a real live Ajax. And though it is in, after time, I think we can count that one. I love this matchup, too. It does always just hit different. I mean, you look at what's happened now, though, and Popfriend in prime position to equalize us here 1-1. They're going to have 3 minutes to cap first, and both these sides have not been able to hold it for more than 1.5. So all odds that Popfriend are able to garner the lead here. Tread Gaming Esports' best case scenario is just removing all the time that we've just played, annulling the match at least. So we'll see if that ends up happening, or if Popfriend are able to convert.
What do you think of this Tor pick?
I think that Torbjorn is... Okay, so it's kind of better at marking the Tracer. If they continue to play the Winston, then anywhere where SXJ is, they just can't dive there, right? Because it's Overload and the Shotgun as well, super good at, defeating the Monkey. The Shotgun is really big into big hitboxes, and Monkey's is moon-sized. That being said, if Popfriend go anything else, then the Torbjorn will be cosmetic. And they spot the Torbjorn from spawn, I believe, and start flirting with the Orisa already.
And Stripper is actually still on this set. No, okay, right. I was just looking for the early pick. I was wondering what that might be. Torbjorn on the field now for SXJ. Does mean that Well is kind of free. There isn't too much to contest Well other than the turret. And if they take the turret down, it's not too bad. Slow going here on the high ground. But Gaming right to the back. But goes right for Exodial's throat. Takes them out early. Just pile drived into the wall. Tread did not come here to play.
Absolutely not. So that's first cap coming through there. And Popfriend making adaptations already, seeing that Tread Gaming Esports have forsaken the Monkey. Yeah, back to the Orisa mirror. Zodiac on the Sojourn 2, Will on the Echo. They're looking to break the turret and break Tread Gaming Esports with it. I think they've made some great adaptations. And, with them having the close spawns, Tread Gaming Esports simply not, then I have to say, these counter wars are always going to favor the aggressors.
Skytor immediately went super low, is hiding in the corner, getting topped up by that support duo of Johan Strepper. SXJ already putting the turret down, has lost it. That extra spam gone. Johan is the one to find SXJ. Now that pressure alleviated, that's going to be great for Popfriend, who are pushing right in. And again, it's that Cassidy getting targeted by the Orisa. Skytor eventually finds them. That Katsuni Rush is pretty much the last nail in this coffin, as Popfriend are definitely going to secure this one, and Hollywood, their map of choice, is going to be what equalizes this series.
Always balance it in the chat between these two teams, but as you mentioned, Joe, we are equalized. They are able to get out in the end, and again, I'm perfectly certain that it is just due to, playing this Torbjorn in the end. Again, that nade is so silly goofy. I mean, what an ability. And what shots actually too from Zodial as he just dispatches the final 3, gets the Ajax as well at the end there. But yeah, as I was saying, if you play the Torbjorn, if you play a counter comp, then your opponents with the closest spawns can counter your counter comp, and you can't change. You only have 1/3 of a percentage to give up, and the spawn is just so far away. If you lose, you've already lost. So bit of a goof up, in my opinion. I think if they kept running the Monkey, then we maybe wouldn't have seen at least such a fast cap. But as it stands, 1-on-1 here, again, a series we build to be close is close.
I mean, we're feeling it, right? With so much energy and so many words being thrown back and forth as well in the chat. There's a whole other game happening. It's that mental game, the ego game as well. Great stuff so far from both these sides. It's equal here. It's absolutely, it's an absolute banger already, and I feel like we're going to get map 5. But before we get even close to that potential 5th map, we're going to go to a short break. Don't go too far, folks, because this match will continue in about 5 minutes.
Lots of love. Lots of love. lots of love. Love. Yo. Cash and the ticket is yours. Cash and the ticket is yours. Yo. Cash and the ticket is yours. Cash and the ticket is yours. Cash and the ticket is yours. Yo. Cash and the ticket is yours. Yours.
And welcome back to CGL. We are in the playoffs here with an absolute banger of a match already between two teams that know each other so well and are really just going at it, both in the team chat, in the match chat, and in the actual gameplay, as we are 1-1 right now with Pop Friend and Tread Esports.
And it has been super close. I mean, honestly a knife's edge all throughout the first map. On our second comes a little bit less so. We do see 2 caps. The time back ended up being the lead that we were able to see converted from Potfriend, but we are here. Map 3, Suravasa coming up next, and it is a map that historically we have seen Tread Gaming Goals really love to play towards, one of Captain Prash's personal favorites, and it is where we're going up next. I think Suravasa is a map where we can't really see the same amount of Orisa. Or not of Winston, sorry. I think Orisa is going to be coming up. Historically, I'd say probably a better pick for Tread. So, if I had to put money on this, if I was a betting man, probably would say this will be Tread Gaming Esports getting the lead once again. But if I've learned anything from watching these 2 teams over the, I feel like, year or so we've known them now, I mean, anything can happen. Anyone can step up. Anyone might forget how to play the video game, might Ajax. Honestly, we'll see. So, early predictions going to be probably Tread. But Potfriend more than capable of getting a dub here as well.
Well, there's also the magic element in this also, because Captain Prash, of course, is Indian, has represented that country in the Overwatch World Cup as well. Has recently been given out the Indian blessings on Suravasa to teams. I believe Super Shy is one of the teams that received it. So Takuno and Will have felt that blessing before. Maybe it will work in Captain Prash's favor. Can Prash bless himself? Can you bless yourself?
I don't know. If anyone's like a Catholic priest in the chat, can you can you bless yourself? Right? I'm not Catholic, so I have no way of knowing. But also, does this extend to every map? Can I King's Row bless myself? Can I King's Row curse myself so we never have to get it? Channel my inner Londoner. I summon images of chicken shops and getting into fights at 4 a.m. in my head, and then I can make it so we never get that map when we're casting.
What you need to do as a British person before King's Row, you only get a blessing if you have fish and chips. You have to go to a chippy, you have to get fish and chips, and then you get the blessing. So there's a little bit more requirement there. There's material components to that blessing. Okay, we're absolutely yapping right now. We're just waiting for these teams to actually pick one.
Also, it's New Junk City.
New Junk City is going to be
for no reason.
The whole point of us yapping was for Suravasa, and they're going to the different map. Come on, didn't they get the script?
Apparently not. Apparently they want to go off of it. They're innovating for the first time. But New Junk City will be up next. Maybe they found my tiny percentage of Australian connection, but either way, will be where the battle ends up taking place. I think in terms of how it's going to end up playing, it is going to be a little bit more hit scan centric, a little bit less tank centric due to the sight lines, but overall, Flashpoint's kind of still Flashpoint, so I wouldn't say there's any huge differential between the two of things. Probably say it's going to be 50-50, but on the flip side of things, if we do see them start out, then I think we're from Arena, the first battle, that is probably going to favor Trade Gaming Esports a little bit more than the other couple Flashpoints. So if we continue to see that come out, then they will have a bit of a lead they can begin to snowball.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, getting a snowball in a match like this is really important. And last time that we watched them in a grand setting was in that grand finals in Epic, and it was 4-2 for the Tread Gaming side. So it won't go that far. It's not a best of 5. It's not a best of 7. Sorry, it's a best of 5. So we're not going to go that far. Well, actually, we could have draws. And now, we've already went past hybrid, so it's unlikely we'll see a draw. But New Junk City is not quite Suravasa. It's a 50-50 choice with Flashpoint, which kind of sucks. I think everyone can agree we really hope more Flashpoint maps get added, but to be fair to the devs, they're massive. Those are big maps. It can't be easy to make them. But perhaps maybe we combine Flashpoint with Clash in the future. I know Clash is out right now. Doesn't feel like the most competitive map type, so maybe we don't even play Clash.
To be fair, if I was in charge, I would probably combine Push and Flashpoint, and then have Map 5 be Control again, because I'm a big Control Map 5 head. I think it always leads to the most exciting matches, but I'm not in charge. I'll put it that way. But yeah,
we're
as you mentioned,
cooking right now.
As you mentioned, it's interesting. It's Clash, definitely, but it's not been super competitive. I've had matches that last 2 minutes on it, and it feels a little bit silly goofy to have a 20-minute hybrid and then a 2-minute Clash be weighted the same, So I think it will require some deliberation before it's put into any competitive tournaments. Hopefully the developers adjust it, make it a little bit slower, a little bit more competitive, and make attacking the third point a little bit easier, because I feel like I'm playing 2CP on that thing.
Yeah, POV, you have a 1 hour GM wide group queue right into Clash.
Yeah, I might actually become the Joker at that point.
We're just yapping right now because we're just waiting for these players to actually get into the match. There we go, here it is. Heading into this one. I missed. Oh no, not this meme. Johan, come on.
Yeah, already they're mentioning why we didn't get Captain Prash buff. I like how we're instantly just discussing strats as well. Like, these teams just love to handshake, I guess. But looks like, at least for now, it will be the mirror. We'll see if SXJ ends up moving towards this Symmetra so you can get a TP out of spawn for some faster spacings, or if they do want to just end up starting on the Tracer. Yeah, so what looks like they want to get their core forward as fast as possible. Remember, this is going to be a little bit more hit scan focus, so giving Zodiel, giving Tread all the timings that they can will be the most beneficial. Full mirror as we begin to clash here.
Full mirror in Season 10, the Mirror Watch season. In the Battle Pass. Get it now. But it's all about these teams right now. As you see, a little bit of a duel on the side right now between these Tracers. Of course, Captain Prash giving SXJ that extra help, as all Lucios do. As they're just dueling, but it's Tread that goes down. So much damage came out from them. Divine follows, and very quickly, Pop Friend have this first fight.
And you want to know the reason for who won out that fight? Look at the ult charges on the Cassidys. Divine's at 30, Zodiel's at 60. Zodiel did twice as much damage onto the tank. Skyto was able to live. Tread isn't. First cap here for Pop Friend. Right as can be. I think it was some attention from Divine going towards trying to mark Will that maybe went the other way, and Zodiel, flattens the opposite number. This push from Pop Friend is dirty.
Yeah, when all you need to do is press E as a Cassidy, you did the easy job, right? You didn't need to exert yourself.
And Will gets a late kill on Divine just to put some salt into the wound. I guess when you're a Cassidy, then every Tracer looks like a nail, and that magnetic grenade gonna be the hammer. That time works out for Pop Friend, and they are more than halfway up. Friend? Oh no.
Well, what you doing? What are you playing at? Don't chat. You know what happened last time, right? Oh, just misses that javelin. That could have changed things up. Johan is going to have this Kitsune Rush if they want to utilize it. Still 20% to go here, so Tread Gaming, they're going to want to be touching this one. Need to be pushing into so much damage to do so, though. Tread really feeling the heat. There's that Kitsune Rush. If Tekuno can stay alive, they can match it, but that damage is so high. The Vine's going to go down, and yeah, they're not going to utilize their ults. This is going to be over very quickly.
Zodiel doesn't even have to primary fire, sorry. He's just constantly right-clicking into the choke, and Tread just can't walk it. 100-0 here on Arena. Pop Friend, an early lead here on New Junk City. Tread Gaming Esports, maybe they should have went to Reversa, but, that's going to be Ducks unlocked. Again, super good hit scan angles. Losing out the Casino Rush does mean that Tread Gaming Esports can clear the high ground. So if Zodiel doesn't get a strong Deadeye here, then Tread Gaming Esports might be able to swing that pendulum right back.
Oh, that pendulum's going to start with a Kitsune Rush, and boy, is that a way to swing it real fast. The beat comes out to try and keep Pop Friend alive. Matched by Prash, and it's Divine who's going to finish this one up. And a lot of ults used there, Spectrum, but it is going to be Tread winning out. 5 ults invested from Tread Gaming Esports, and to their credit, it does find the first flip. Only 3 from Pop Friend. They do technically have an ult advantage with Zodiel having the Deadeye in line, but a mere spear from Tread could shut that out, and with the defensive positioning, I'll call this next fight about as even as you can get on a map type like this, Gio. We'll see exactly how much progress as well Tread Gaming Esports can get, because even if they end up losing this next fight, if they take it slow, then they still might be able to get up to, even 80%. They are coming around this left side flank, just trying to make sure they're not pushing into the high ground as they take the high ground with this noon. Oh, watch out, the javelin just in time. What a save from Tread. Just like it was predicted, like it was foreseen. But Tread is about to go down as they're divined into the afterlife. just kept alive by those reports. It's not enough as Exodial will end it up. And without a tank on their side, this one's just going to slowly fall out the hands of Tread Gaming.
I mean, you notice there how Skysaw initially spares Tread, knocks him down, body blocks between himself and Divine, really trying to disrupt and make any attempt at the spear not connect, but Tread is just him a 3 and pushing more forwards. Is able to spear, but Potfriend get their fight all the same. So Tread Gaming Esports up to 80%. Remember, they were able to take it slow. They only need this one fight win. But Potfriend with their Kasuna Rush active have a bit of a lead here.
Yeah, C-Tech, quickly building it up off the damage done. That hindrance didn't quite land on the Tracer. That could have been very bad for SXJ as they're looking for that pulse bomb in the backline. Kasuna Rush comes up. SXJ absolutely deleted off the face of the planet early on. Exodial going with a madness of the Peacemaker, turning it into a machine gun.
They're staggering Tread as well. If he does this long, it means that there might not be a full recontest for Tread Gaming Esports. Yeah, they know what they did there. I think they're going to try for it, I would imagine, with Tread Gaming Esports. They really don't want to go down 0-2 here on their own map pick, especially given how, everyone and their mother kind of expected a Suravasa here. But 5% left to go, they're just too far.
Yeah, they're going. Yeah, they're just decided to set up for next.
That hurts. That's really painful if I am Tread Gaming Esports. Especially as, remember, Gio, they got first cap. Coming up to the Refinery, and it's going to have to be the reverse sweep for Tread Gaming Esports if they want to take their own map choice. Ultimate's high on both these sides. In fact, it's going to be 4 apiece. I guess small advantage is going to be in the favor of Tread Gaming Esports, but very, very high emphasis on small here. Yeah.
Well on the side, Prevaling, trying to make up for that once mistake of saying Care Pulse against this team before. Can the Pulse be the thing that opens it up? The High Noon comes up, hit with the Pulse. Immortality forced out. There's a big resource gone for the side of Tread Gaming. They have to be careful, but the bigger resource gone. It's your tank that's gone. But still, they're finding the picks. Johan finds SXJ, and they have the point. Forces the outlet. Oh, that beat from Strip, or probably would wish that they didn't do that.
Yeah, most definitely. Takuno takes care of it. And, by the way, once we were talking, Takuno has swapped over to that Baptiste. I think I mentioned he was a little bit more likely to play it than Johan. And, yeah, able to look at it now. I guess maybe not fearing the trace of Will enough, or at least hoping that SSJ can mark it. This is, in my opinion, one of Takuno's better heroes, being able to do some real damage from the FS role and helping out with the frontline trade. Got that window as well. It's a lot more comfortable now for Tread Gaming Esports.
Takuno even got some recognition from the Overwatch Esports Twitter for the Baptiste. Window comes up purely for themselves at first, but there's a Terra Surge to nullify it. Skyter went a little too far in for it. Gets caught. Takuno again, line up the kill feed. They did get the point very quickly there, but they are going to be able to turn it around. Well, get some vengeance for their fallen teammates, but it's not enough.
The point flip does hurt for Tread Gaming Esports. If it didn't come through, then off the back of that fight, they would have gotten their first flashpoint of the series, in fact, but not to be. Potfriend, I believe, will be able to recompose. Attempting to stuff the choke is Tread Gaming Esports. They want to make this work as hard as possible, but recognizing that they can't stop a touch, they're instead setting up for Divine's Deadeye.
There's the Deadeye. Trying to create space. Skyter already had the force gold. That's a big resource. Skyter's going to go down here if this pressure keeps up. Yeah, they had to use Suzu as well, and it still wasn't enough. Skyter just got caught out completely. Overwatch alone? How did that Javelin not hit? I don't know. Takuno finds well, and they do have the point. Is this going to be the New Junk City first sweep we need?
I don't know how he does it. I don't know what black magic he uses. I don't know what he sacrificed, but it's something about him and just finding crazy multi-kills on that Baptiste off camera. It happens every time. At this point, I'm not even surprised. I'm just a little bit baffled. Bomb Flat's going to be coming up next. Tread Gaming Esports trying to get that reverse sweep going. And to their credit, they do have the Deadeye and the Pulse. They could combo it for a free kill if Johan isn't picked perfect with the cleanse.
Deadeye opens from Exodium. As they walk onto point, Skyter still taking so much damage. That's what the Baptiste is going to allow to happen as well from the backline. So spammy, so pokey. SXJ though gets spammed out by the other flex support. Johan steps into the kill feed yet again, finding that headshot. Fred trying to do a madness in the backline. Gets a Terra Surge. The follow-up is kind of there, but Tread was down for it. Probably not worth it. Point gets swapped. Window comes up, actually. They try and turn this one around. It's gonna be
They need
tough.
an angle. They need an angle at this point. Both Takuno and Divine are stacked behind this window. Makes it super easy for Pop Friend to just kite the entire ultimate.
Yeah, and the fight continues, and they're at a disadvantage. Divine trying to stay alive. The beat comes up. Zodiel doesn't get it, but Skyturn dead. Still taking so much damage. High Noon! Screw your Terra Surge, I've got the High Noon.
That was crazy there, actually. Captain Prash literally beats the millisecond he gets. If he charges it any slower, then Skytor takes care of the High Noon with the Terra Surge, and Pop Friend plus 50% on the objective. As it stands, though, Tread Gaming Esports again in control. Ults spent for both sides. Pop Friend can push in with this Kitsune Rush, sorry. It has to be a disengage or an early pick, else Tread Gaming Esports may well go down here.
They have to know, right? They have to know the Kitsune Rush is up. If they've been tracking it, they need to be well aware. There's the early pick that you were wanting from them. Exodial goes down, and there's the kite back from Pop Friend. Tread Gaming, though, they are following. They want to see if they can get anything else out of this, because they know that they'll still be up against that Kitsune Rush in the next fight.
Indeed. This battle is allowing Takuna to get closer and closer to this window, so I would say it would favor Tread Gaming Esports. Now they have the option of taking a slow fight where they will be able to have that Terra Surge, they will be able to have that window. This Tracer duel could be pivotal.
Oh, well, forced to recall early there. SXJ is also recalled though. There's a Kitsune Rush, the all-important one. Tread a little bit caught out there. The Immortality Field needs to come up to keep them alive. The Pulse finds it. Will falls up onto Prash. And yeah, they were able to get it to 99, which is good for them, but eventually did lose this fight.
At the end of the day there, it's not the worst possible fight to lose here if I am Tread Gaming Esports, but I would have liked to hold on to that window. You know, that way you get at least a decent spend out of your opponents. You can keep it contested for the next fight, but this time you don't have that window to win the sight lines. Last fight territory here for Tread Gaming Esports. If they don't get a touch, then their attempt at this map, at Flashpoint, will end here. They're going to need to win a sightline using this third eye and cap out the point using this Terra Surge, else it's going to be incredibly tricky for them to find any purchase on the point.
Good to see where Pop Friend gets the lead in this series. Very close to a 92%. Very important fight here. SXJ goes down. The Pulse Bomb not available anymore. Will doing wonders for the side of the team. A great Javelin takes out the... Oh wait, no, it didn't. Actually didn't. It actually hit someone else. Exodial. It's gonna go down. Divine finds Exodial. It's very back and forth. There's the beat from both sides to try and keep them alive. Divine trying to do their best, but gets taken out by Will. Johan finding the end of it. Pulse Bomb not even needed there from Will. They're gonna hold on to it like they're known to do, and Pop Friend get the lead in the series.
That they do. 2-1 here. Tread Gaming Esports pick comes back to bite them, and maybe afterwards they are going to be asking themselves, why not Suravasa? I mean, in that final fight as well, it could have been a little bit stronger, I think, for Tread Gaming Esports, but at the end of the day, personally, this Deadeye is crazy. 2 kills, knocking Johan down to an absolute sliver of HP. Yeah, that is a fight off the back of Divine, but yeah, in that final fight, SXJ gets picked super early. It's a 5v4 already, you don't have that Tracer to mark, your opponent's Tracer. And that allows Will, it allows Divine access into the backline, it's pressure that comes on to the front line, and Takuno ends up falling because of that. They don't have that same level of sustain, and Pop Friend go up 2-1.
Yeah, and that was a brilliant fight at the end. I mean, I really thought that Javelin landed on the High Nooning Exodial, but I think you mentioned it might have been cleansed, which if it did is an insane timing from Johan. That's a level above other Kirikos who consider themselves high level. To time something like that is what wins you fights like that at this high level, and definitely it didn't help Tread Gaming in that final fight, who were fighting from under essentially, and now it is match point for Pop Friend, who are very close to getting that vengeance against Tread Gaming and cementing this rivalry even further.
Right now, it's looking competitive for both sides, right? I mean, and I wouldn't say any map has been one-sided. I will say that, these wins we're seeing from Pop Friend do seem to be a little bit more consistent, right? Having a bit of a time bank as a buffer on hybrids. And, as we come here to Flashpoint, then a 3-1, yeah, they slip up a little bit, but they don't stumble enough to bring it really down to the wire. So they do have the lead, but on the flip side of things, it is again Tread Gaming Esports with map pick. They have now a bit of a stronger map pick. I think that as you kind of head into Flashpoint, it maybe doesn't matter is the wrong way of phrasing it, right? But it's a lot weaker than as we start thinking about a map 4. So they have some options here if they want to go for something a little bit more competitive, if they want to go for something that's a little bit more of a curveball, but still, it's not the best scenario that Tread Gaming Esports have ever found themselves in, I'll put it that way.
Yeah, this is where you really get that butt clenched moment of feeling yourself against the edge of getting knocked into the losers bracket. You're not eliminated. They will then need to be playing at the top of the game. Very few mistakes can be made from this point out for whichever team ends up in the losers bracket as they head towards that also coveted grand finals, where there are a lot of high-level teams. There's even some console teams, because it is console gaming league, who have always shock me at how good they can be against a PC team. It just shows what preconceived notions I had about that, but they've definitely blown those all out the water. It's not an easy tier, but both these teams have only had one loss. This will be the second loss for one of these teams. And that just goes to show how well they've played before now, even if they have had other commitments like OWCS. I
mean, just to touch back on your point about console players, I think for me, one of the most interesting things is in, the University UK scene for Overwatch, then some of the top DPS players play on console. I mean, the current reigning champion of both tournaments multiple times is Warwick Angels, of which they have Matt Murray on the sticks. There's a certain Epic Land clip that some of you might remember, but he's still a very strong player, at least compared to the competition. Cool Beans as well, from another side, also very, very competitive. Console is just a legitimate medium, and, congrats to all of you console players who've recently had all your Zimmers, banished forevermore.
Yeah, and the PC pool will take them into quick play. It's fine. Quick play and PC sucks anyway. I try to play Winston and they go Reaper and they go Bastion. So quick play is not exactly that fun for me anyway. So sure, bring all the Zimmers here. I don't mind. But in terms of Colosseo, which is the map that we're going to now, this is a map that was played in that coveted grand finals that we keep talking about the last time that these teams faced in a very competitive manner. And Colosseo did go the way of Tread Gaming. And I can't quite remember, because I think Colosseo happened while I wasn't quite in the venue. Was that not like a massive reverse sweep on Colosseo in that match?
Oh, Lord, yes, it was. It was 130 meters on the payload. For, I believe, top friends, and they just forgot how to win. I don't know how to describe it. They just stopped winning.
Man, well, I mean, what a feat though to reverse sweep that much distance on a push map.
Oh, it was a fantastic watch, and I recommend everyone goes back and watch it if you haven't already. So I think for the sake of everybody's mental, we don't see a reverse sweep like that again, but it would be so entertaining. It would be such a way for Tread Gaming Esports to get back equal in the Series 2. And 2, remember, if Popfriend take this, then they will have won out the series. If Tread Gaming do, then we go to a map 5. We go all the way, baby. So I am a little bit rooting for Tread Gaming Esports just to continue the action. But either way, we know we'll have an absolute banger for us. Map like this, I think, going to be a little bit less focused on the FDPS players. So Will and SXJ going to take a bit of a back seat. I think it's all about what picks the hit scans can find and how much damage the tanks can mitigate, right? If they're able to keep their uptime reasonable while also not taking a bajillion damage, then probably the best case for them. But if they do find themselves a little bit under pressure, then how well they respond to that is going to be a big deciding factor. See how long the deadlock, we find ourselves in at the beginning in this as well, because I think we've still seen a couple 2.5 minute ones on a map like this. Hit scan on Divine. SXGA, yeah, I wouldn't expect the Bastion. Note we have the Sojans for the one-shot capability. Cassidy just doesn't have that same level of punch, at least in a single shot, so it's about how long it takes Zodiel and Divine to find a connection.
And perhaps this Baptiste might help them as well in this initial stalemate, because there's a little bit more punching power in a Baptiste than a Kiriko. So that might help Divine already. Going quite low. SXJ is
Oh,
actually
wow.
the one that's going to get hit by a javelin. Skytor, the one to open it up. And they're just going to be pushed all the way back here, and this fight's already over.
That was pretty much worst case scenario, right? I mean, I think SXJ was expecting just to find Will on this flank angle, but finds pretty much the entirety of Pot Friends. So off the back of that unwelcome surprise and nasty jackbox for him, then just has to be disengaged from Tread Gaming Esports, already the leads to their opposition. Going to have to be fighting from the back foot now.
Yeah, no, Pop Friend, they don't mind if this is a bit of a stalemate, because they've got the lead. They don't really need to push it too hard here. And again, this flank, also important, past the glass. That time, Javelin not finding as much there, just kind of poking and prodding. You know, getting those resources out is the important thing here. If you see a key resource come out from the other team, you can then force it. Something like a Suzu and an Immortality Field as well. Very important. But again, it's just this spam, this poke, this push and pull, and, well, not a whole lot of pushing happening.
Or pulling for that matter. It's so passive, but in these longer sustained poke fights, and as you mentioned, it will be a small advantage for Tread Gaming Esports. They've got the window online. They could combo it for a one-shot, or more likely, literally just wait and counter any push that Pot Friend attempt to make.
And there's a little bit of advancing happening there. Every inch matters. Skytor taking a lot of damage there. Good positioning from Tread to allow that to happen. Skytor needs to use the gold, but there is the Kitsune Rush, and there isn't an answer. The window comes up to try and create that space. Tread alive. Had to use Terra Surge to do it. The healing through the window as well from Takuno just keeps their tank up. Pulse Bomb also found just the Immortality, but there is the hair that breaks the camel's back. That Terra Surge from Skytor. And the overclock as well. A big investment with Pop Friend winning it.
And in my opinion, the real difference maker in that fight was Tread failing to get the kill onto Skytor. As Skytor, tries to back out. Tread takes too much damage himself and he drops down to 27 HP. Has to use the Terror Surge. Has to keep his uptime low to stay out of the respawn room. And because of that, it allows their opposition and Pop Friend to press their advantage a hell of a lot harder. So again, Pop Friend in the lead. Both sides, I mean, a little bit less looking less good for Webb. A lovely press from Tread Gaming Esports, lead right back in their favor. No kills though.
Yeah, the overclock did a lot of damage, but it didn't find the kills. A great speed out there from Stripper and the rest of the team. And both those Lucios have those beats ready. And when those beats come out is important, but also Divine winning the duel is more important. Oh, but another duel just got one out, this time by Will Johan. But it's all the battle of the duels. All the spots and positions of the teams are just taking their counterparts out right now. It's a messy fight. Great javelin mid-air. Crash is going to get... alive? How? Oh my god. Got the Prashy schmoves.
Yeah, apparently. There's an attempt at a chase. Pulse Bomb. Missed, but it doesn't matter as the kill comes through all the same. Crash will be able to survive, at least for now, but with a stagger like that onto Divine, I wouldn't imagine there's going to be a massive amount of progress. SHJ does take care of Stray Ball. That is a Lucio down, and that does mean that Tread Gaming Esports will have an advantage recontest, and eventually it comes through. About halfway through the map now, Geo, and still lead for Pop Friends.
Yeah, only slight, but it feels so large considering how hard it is to push through this initial choke. Kitsune Rush ready, but again with the window, we'll be able to kite away. We'll be able to create space against that rush, and if they can find a pick off the back of it, all the better. Both.
Indeed. It's looking awkward, actually, with ults coming online. SHJ, notice how he's always a little bit on the back foot on this off angle, tries to aggressive recall force and advantage against the Pop Friends.
Both tanks also with the Terror Surge ready. Last time we saw them just use them to stay alive rather than to get follow-up. Skytor though used it for Exodial and the Overclock, which is also ready. It is going to be the Kitsune Rush that opens window immediately there. Meanwhile, the duel on the side isn't really advantageous for the side of Tread Esports as SXG is forced right into the Terror Surge. Pulse Bomb takes Skytor down. It's very much for the side of Tread Gaming as they win it out there and able to hold on to some key ultimates also.
This battle is always going to be if SXJ can live long enough on the flank and hold the space long enough for Tread Gaming Esports as a whole to win out the front line. That time is able to, and though he backs up, eventually falls into the Terror Surge, then he's done his job by far. Now, the lead is taken for Tread Gaming Esports, also super good for them, so we could be seeing the start of a momentum swing here, Gio.
Could it be? Could it be? They are very well positioned here. This overclock does apply so much pressure and does allow Tread Gaming to get the lead as they slowly walk towards that also coveted forward spawn. The beat comes up to match the overclock coming from Exodio. There's the counter beat though, but SXJ finds well. The beat didn't reach well, I believe, and that's why that happened. Exodio though takes SXJ out of it, but now the advancing power of Pop Friend is being counteracted here by the prowess of Tread Gaming, who were able to kite them for just long enough to be able to get that beat off and be able to keep themselves alive. They're so close to getting this forward spawn. They've just lost Tekuno. It's going to be all the harder to stay into this fight, and in fact I don't think they have the sustain that they need anymore, and they are going to get slowly pushed off of it.
Still significant lead here for Tread Gaming Esports. Their main priority in a situation like that is basically push as far forward as possible while also maintaining ult advantage. And to their credit, while they might not have an advantage to speak of, it's about even between these two sides, and yeah, they still do have that lead. So in this next battle, it's going to be Tread Gaming's main job to waste time, waste space, and if they can, just force Pop Friend back, because if they can do that, then they can going to continue to get closer and closer to a win.
3 minutes remaining, and getting closer to that win is what's important. Every inch matters, every movement, and every pulse. But they are able to TP away from it, keep themselves alive. Meanwhile, Exodio is tearing up the opponents with the Kitsune Rush boost. Exodio is an absolute turret of pain, and Tread Gaming are feeling it.
4K for Exodio when all's said and done. Taylor's getting closer and closer to the forward spawns, and that would also signify Pop Friend once again having the lead here in this series. Touch is a possibility if Will sprints for it, but not going to come through by those things.
Yeah, it would be too risky there, especially with 2 minutes fairly on the board. Overclock comes out looking for those heads. Exodio really took the fight into their hands last time, doing so yet again. And it doesn't matter how much divine favor you have against a warlock of pain like Exodio. Oh, Skyzer is just packing them into their own spawn. This is a statement being made by Pop Friend.
I mean, Tread are getting worked. There's no two ways about it. Yeah, better ult's now online for Tread Gaming Esports, but the lead is not in their favor, and at just 2 minutes left on the clock, that is something that they sorely need. Overclock throws huge from Exodio, but now has since expired. It has to be a support or only fight if Pop Friend wants to continue the lead, but if I were them, I'd just give this one up for free. And they will.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. Following your sage advice. And that means the overclock is gone, yeah. That's such a smart move. They come back into this one through the tunnel. They've got 90 seconds to go. If they win this one, it's going to be so difficult for Tread to come back into it. Prash didn't
beat himself,
get anyone. Yeah, Prash only got themselves with that beat. That's a bit of a disaster, actually, as Tread is trying to do their best on the front line, but the counter beat will find the rest of Strebor's team. This is so tough for Tread Gaming. They've lost Tekuno. That sustain and pressure is gone. With 1 minute remaining, Sveg, could this be the last map? Could this be a free one for Pop Friend?
Certainly looks like it right now. Tread Gaming Esports just don't have any control over the series, careening down the hill while Pop Friend traces after them in a leisurely stroll. Tread Gaming Esports needed to get the lead, and they needed to do it while trading ults positively, right? But unfortunately, they're bleeding them and still not in the lead. Worst case scenario, and ults closer and closer for Pop Friend.
And again, a good kite. A little bit split this time, however. There could be an opportunity for Tread to get this one. With 30 seconds remaining, everything matters here. Every small, minute resource is going to be so important as the Pulse Bomb threatening to come out, trying to get the ammo out. Tekuno really holding in, not getting it forced out. Exodio on the side, however, as an absolute monster, is taking them all out. The overclock has done it, and with 10 seconds left, it might be all over.
SXJ, I believe, can touch, but it's going to be rough. It's going to be close. Notice they're not even pushing the objective. With that, it might be... It's half a second left to go. OT started the last second. That's a pick.
Hold on. Yeah, Exodio goes down. The Vine might have just done something purely godlike. In fact, Tread on the Doomfist coming back nice and quick. It was all about the speed of the Doomfist choice, and suddenly, in overtime, a miracle
Right
on
back to
Coliseo, and going back to swap back to the Orisa. This is gonna be real tough, though, to push
Yep.
it all the way into the lead.
And we could be seeing a repeat of the last time, folks, where there's going to be a generational comeback coming through from Tread Gaming Esports, trying to buy time, trying to take this fight in the midpoint, but I gotta say, I'm getting nervous. The overtime rate's gonna burn down so quickly that any attempt for SXJ to step off could be it.
Kitsune Rush met with the overclock. Divine needs to come up massively for the team right now. Captain Prash does get everyone up to beat. Divine does find Skyter with the overclock. Johan goes down, and suddenly, it doesn't look that hard. Suddenly, Sisyphus sees the top of the mountain.
And one thing to note here is that overtime spawns are in full effect. What that means is that they're a hell of a lot slower than they normally would be. Popfriend can take significantly less fights before the lead is eventually garnered. But Scratch will slow down the pace of Tread Gaming Esports considerably, but they're maybe 2 fights off now. Nay, maybe even 1.5.
This everything matters here. Everything matters. Strebber with the beat, though. That's probably the biggest win condition right now. Takuno's 5% away from the Kitsune Rush, though, so if they're able to build that in time, that could be big. You can feel the nervous energy here from both sides. Everyone feels it. Everyone is on the edge of their seats. Definitely I am. Terra Surge looking like it's going to come through. Skyter had to back up. Going in again. Kitsune Rush comes out, though, to counter it. Terra Surge doesn't find what they want. The beat comes out, though. Is that going to be enough? As Exodial starts to clean house. No more support on the side of Tread Gaming. Popfriend are cleaning it up. Exodial gets the overclock. It's all that was written. And suddenly, the rock goes back down the mountain. It's a 3-1 series win to Popfriend.
That was absolutely electric. Tread Gaming Esports really had me believing there, but unfortunately a combination of ult advantage and having to play from the low ground really did come back to bite Tread Gaming Esports. Super close there on last push, but eventually, yeah, card's gonna fall in the favor of Popfriend. You mentioned a 3-1. Yeah, fair enough to him. I mean, what more can you say about that? Exodial just hits a clip to finish things off. He's got greater firing lines. He's got an overclock too, and cleanse out from Takuno a little bit too early means that there wasn't really too much that Tread Gaming Esports could do in that final engagement, but pray that a pick comes through. Fortunately, none does. Divine, a bit quieter, I noticed, on the Sojourn rather than on the Cassidy, and because of that, we do eventually see our victor decided.
Yeah, that's a good point. If you're talking about the duos inside of this one, the clashing head scans, it did seem like Exodial was just that more practiced on Sojourn, which is what you would expect out of Exodial because they are a very, very skilled Sojourn player. And you saw it there. You saw every fight there, Exodial threatened to turn it no matter what the tides look like. A great matchup across the board, though, from these teams. And while it's 3-1, that doesn't tell the whole story. This is just another step in the story of these two teams. But if Popfriend don't come together as a roster again, because obviously the X team sure cold they're not together. If this is the last time we see this matchup, then Popfriend or Grillmasters or Extra Cold, they've proven that this rivalry was not one-sided and it was as back and forth as we all knew it was.
Yeah, and to be honest, I have a sneaking suspicion that we will see them again, no matter what happens, right? I mean, most of these players love to come to LANs, and players are always going to congregate towards what they've done before. So even if it's not this exact mix, then all 10 players realistically are going to continue being competitive with each other, continue being close with each other, and this rivalry will continue in some way. Of course, some storylines to note here would be that Zodial takes care of his teammate in Tread. Of course, both of them on Team Peps, but this time it is Exodial with the win. And the sheer cold core, I mean, what a last hurrah for them, right? They're going to continue forward in this tournament, but after that, no one really knows. So going out with a bang, definitely, we'll see.
Yeah, obviously, when talking to NKZ, the players very obviously before now have been focusing on OWCS. That is ultimately what's important. It's the top esport tournament in Overwatch right now. But they did say that the further the CGL goes on, the more emphasis they're going to be putting onto it. And you can feel that here. The heat began to get turned up, and you can really start to feel these players who have these other commitments and are on teams with each other really ramping up. So beware, everyone. in the playoffs. For Pop Friend is advancing in the winners bracket, and that's a scary proposition for anyone else. I believe the only loss Pop Friend have is to Nevish's team. I think they're called Moggers. And the only thing NKZ had to say about that was it just should not have happened. That should have not have happened. So we will see how that journey continues. They said that Dread Gaming don't have a singular chance against us. That's the quote that was said. That's not quite true, but they definitely did prove that they had what it takes. They've won it out. That's us for tonight, though. I believe there's still another match occurring on CGL 2. So go check that out.
Versus Karma, by the looks of things.
Okay. Also, keep an eye on the CGL socials. Every match that comes up now is a playoffs match and has so much more weight to it than before, especially on those weekends when we have those desk segments. I know we haven't been able to schedule any EU Friday night Overwatches right now just because the game... I know, but the games haven't matched up. They haven't lined up. But if we can line that up, it'd be great to sit down on the desk and analyze all these great plays and talk about the amazing EU scene here in CGL. But alas, that has been me, Geo, joined by Spectrum. And thank you to our production, who I'm going to double check so I don't miss anyone because there's a lot of them. That's going to be Lottie. That's going to be Unfeatured, and that's going to be Sonic as well. So big shout out to the production, and well played to Paw Friend. Don't forget to laugh loud and love each other, folks. Good night.